Big part of reunion's eating. So glad to see the cooks here.
Oh, the camera's on. Let me get in the kitchen so they'll think I helped.
Yeah.
Hungry?
You betcha. Sure smells good.
Does it smell good?
Sure does.
Yeah, he always does all that.
Yeah.
Dickie, what are you gonna play? Come on over here. Come here. Good dog. How's that? Okay.
Roses are red, violets are blue, sugar sweet, ain't it?
Oh, wow. Uncle Graham, you're talented.
No.
Missy, you're
And the
talented.
first time
no.
she used it, she had the best
Yeah.
cards.
You did?
Well, that's the last
Come on,
time.
we'll play manipulation. Come on, we'll play manipulation. Okay,
All right.
And so the year before, so last time I did
I don't know. The girls all play. A lot of the Navy wives have bridge clubs, but I've never played.
What's that?
What's that you got sitting in front of you, Aunt Lillian? That wooden thing.
That's a card holder that
Do
Graham
you
made.
paper, do you have a score pen?
Ah.
You want a picture of
And,
it?
and now it's forever,
Demonstrate? Yeah.
it's on film, forever.
Now,
Let's see, how many does that leave? Did Joe go play?
boy, we played up here last summer.
Well, I know, but I.
Every-
And you've been taking lessons
Yeah,
since
you've
then.
been like Ruth, like Lillian now, she says.
Well, that's what Mom Glass
That's
does.
pretty
Oh,
neat.
I don't know how to play yachts out, and she wins every time.
13 cards.
I don't remember.
So I just keep his
13
things.
cards.
Hey, Uncle Hoyt.
How many cards, Marty?
Yes.
13 cards for manipulation.
How many?
Use 2 decks.
Right.
Watch out
You
there.
got a shuffle?
No, Mary, you said I played 2 each, don't forget.
Four and king,
Use
three,
shuffler.
and queen, two.
Let me get my shuffler.
If you have so much,
Uncle
you're
Joe, what are
supposed
you
to
reading?
bid and so forth.
There we have 14 horses.
I want you to know, now there's
We have
some
6
ground rules.
horses.
Part of it.
I don't go
Oh,
by.
you.
What is that?
Hi, Mom.
What do you call that?
It's a chopstick rest.
Well, I want you to know my
These came from Japan. They're all chopstick rest.
Sure, don't put them on the floor, huh? I hate all this publicity.
Say something wise, Uncle Hoyt.
I got it done right this morning.
No, Dad does.
I dealt last.
Your deal.
Religious deal.
You can't, you get 2 cards. You already gone to bed?
You're quite a shuffler there, Graham. He got his glasses fixed, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Went back home and do it.
That thing shuffles
All
pretty
the way
fast.
With a green one.
I went back home.
You went all the way back home? Well, I know that'd be irritating to wear your sunglasses around all day.
There's a kitchen crew tonight.
Graham,
Graham is in charge since he's host for this evening meal.
Too much.
it's kind of bad to come at this time when everybody's kind of bedraggled.
Well, that's all right. We got to get a few movies of the
Oh,
reunion.
you didn't get us when we were pretty, did you? But we surely did have a good damn dinner. Toss it down here with all this other stuff.
Okay.
Come sit down here.
Where Deacon?
I really played that cookie jar.
Have you
Uncle
ever
Graham, he
played?
wants to play that
Start
cookie jar.
reminiscing, Mary
I
Eunice.
don't know about cookie jar. I don't remember about the cookie jar. I'm pretty bad about playing that. Let's talk about old times.
Well, Uncle Joe,
Back the good old days.
giving Uncle Joe a bath.
Oh, boy. Who gave him a bath? The whole yeah, Mary Eunice
didn't take his clothes off though.
No, Graham.
Graham did with the
He'd
hose.
say, you girls run on, run on, run on. He'd run us off and nobody could go at them but Graham. And he'd scoop the hose on them. And what would he do when he wanted to hit him? Woo! Every time the water hit him. You didn't know Uncle Joe, did you? He was a character. wasn't he?
Yeah.
He used to lend us a quarter or 50 cents. And boy, he never let us forget it, did he?
Somebody come over there on the bar, $5 from him, and he didn't know he had the money or not. So he said, just wait around him a bit, he'd go on for the room. He wouldn't let anybody go with him. But he'd come back with it, and you'd give it to him.
He used to give us a quarter every time we read the New Testament through, remember? Boy, I read it through a lot. But you didn't know what.
Thank you.
Oh, Joe was a character.
But when we got the telephone, the first telephone we got, he was left there by himself one time. And the phone rang, and he
You
sat
should
there.
be out here
and
reminiscing,
it rang,
let
and
Tommy do
You're one
that.
of the old.
kept ringing.
You're one of the old
So
people.
finally he got up and walked over to the phone and just walked up back to it and said, "No, she ain't here." Turned around and walked back.
Was he talking about Aunt Ruth?
He didn't take the receiver off.
No,
He didn't
Oh.
take the receiver off.
No, he didn't take the receiver off. He just,
Oh, Mother asked him, did you take the receiver off the hook? No, I didn't touch it.
He used to like Hoyt. Back in that court days, we'd go up there and he'd say, "Come in my room, Hoyt. Come in my room when you get a chance."
talk about Daniel Boone.
Yeah, what he called Daniel Boone. Did you ever hear Daniel Boone? He'd say, if he could see these Daniel Boone
Oh, he
pictures
was,
on television, he wouldn't even.
He probably didn't like Gunsmoke.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember when we moved over on Greensboro Avenue?
Yeah.
I don't.
I do, I remember
Well, you
crying
were-
because I was
Moved there
always
one-
sick.
She was born, moved there 1 month before I was born.
I just barely remember. I remember Graham and Dee.
Didn't have indoor toilet then. You had a privy out the back. So do you remember putting down the sewer line down the
Yeah,
street?
we made lemonade, went out there and sold it. I remember that.
And they were blasting, they had to blast, they had to dig deep in front of the house. And I think they put cross ties, big things over it, so it would throw the dirt all over the place.
What year was that?
Yeah.
1923, that's when you
Early
moved into
20s.
that house.
Early
That's when you
20s.
were, a month
19
after you were born, you said?
Before I was born.
A month
Yeah.
before you?
Moved in July 1923.
That was a bad,
oak trees out there.
that was a bad thing for Mama to be
And
doing.
Mother was
wasn't it?
scared that they weren't gonna get it ready though, to move before I got there.
And Mr. Coy, Mr. Miss Coy, because
Yeah.
he's the first man that had an automobile around in that part,
Sure
part of the country.
I remember going over to the first radio episode.
Oh, yeah.
And we'd take turns listening.
He had there's a box about that long, about that high and that deep. It had dials all on it. And he put those earphones on, and he'd get on those dials and he'd stop it. He'd take them off and slap them on somebody else's head and let them listen.
Well, I remember that automobile he had.
Yeah.
He and Mother Coy looked so aristocratic sitting up there with that handle and just one little bar there. He guiding that thing. I've seen pictures of them recently. Well, I remember that.
They had in the back seat, up between the windows, had little flower vases. Flowers.
What kind of car was
Well, now I remember those
I don't
vases in the
I
car
don't
we
remember.
had.
Yeah.
And
Color.
on Sundays, Mama would always get a pretty
Cars back
rose,
then.
some
I
put
remember-
fresh flowers in those.
I remember
Vases.
that old Chrysler that Daddy had, and every Sunday morning we'd have to go out, take hot water out there and pour in the radiator,
Oh, yeah.
and fill the radiator up with hot water and start it up and go to church, Sunday school and church.
But
And
wouldn't
then
you ride out
at
the
night,
cemetery?
at night you drain that water out.
Wouldn't you ride out to Mr. Temple's and turn
Yeah,
around
right
before
around,
Sunday
but
school?
I remember we always had to put that hot water in
Oh, yeah.
because it drained the water out every winter time. It drained the water out.
Usually on Sunday afternoon, we'd go to Cohen.
Yeah, and that's where you learn to drive, on that Colin Road where they
Yes,
haul
and Daddy
bricks all the time.
And
There's
it was a-
bricks, a lot of bricks on that road that fell off the trucks. Even if they're way over at the edge, almost in the ditch, she'd run over and hit them.
Daddy said,
She wouldn't miss a brick between Sanford and Colin.
Daddy said so anyway. But believe me, he watched everything I did.
You know where Bill learned to drive?
Marcus on this.
In the cemetery. Oh, I used to take him out to the cemetery and let him drive.
She's sitting right here beside me.
You say you have a wreck, this is where you're gonna wind up, is that what he told you?
No, he just couldn't be out on the highway.
You don't drive safe, this is where you're gonna wind up.
But see, that was a lot harder to drive out there.
Yeah.
Was on the highway.
Well, we were poor as we could be, but we didn't know it. We had such a good time all the time and we were always happy.
Yeah, and we would have whooping cough or measles or something, they'd come put a big old tag on the front door, on the front of the house there, quarantine. You couldn't leave, nobody could come in. I remember one Christmas, we had whooping cough, couldn't get out of the house. And Clem and Leo Potts was over there, had an electric train, and they put it up on the front porch in Miss Coy's house. And we get on our front porch and watch them run that train. They ran it so we could see it.
We had up on Hawkins Avenue too. We
Oh,
quarantined
yeah,
every
we
time.
quarantined all over there.
Yeah.
Margie said she
Yeah,
couldn't believe the
question.
quarantine would really hold you in, Graham.
They had a hard time that time up on Hawkins Avenue when they was going to vaccinate us for
Oh, they
typhoid
sure
fever.
And
And they was telling me them needles was that long, you know.
You believed him, didn't you?
Yeah, they had to drag me from the barn way down.
under the bed one time too. I remember.
Well, the needles were in a
Graham would
wooden
scoot
box
under the
about
bed.
that
I'd way up in the bed.
Those needles were in a
Oh,
wooden box.
they was telling me there's long needles. If I didn't be still, the jumping and come out over here. Oh, man,
And all of us had to have the typhoid shot.
yeah.
That was rough.
Well, Dr. McKee would come to the house and down up there and take that pipe out and put it on the column, you know, and go in and we'd hide his pipe every time.
Well, you remember that?
We,
The Dollar children lived next door to us.
Yeah,
And
and
Mr.
the
Oscar-
Coggins too.
Yeah, and the Cardinals. The Dollar children, though, three of them, I believe, and their daddy bought them a goat, billy goat.
Really.
And Daddy got you boys a farm wagon. And they, you hooked that billy goat to that farm wagon, and you two families of children played with,
Worked them
rode
together.
in that farm wagon with that billy goat pulley.
That Coggins next door, that was, I remember that.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Roy Coggins was a mean
No,
fellow.
Mr. Coggins, he did something, and Mr. Coggins was out there working, hammering something, and he beat that ball with a hammer handle. Held the head of the hammer, and he.
Well, you remember, you and Tommy got knives. Went
Yeah.
down way back behind the back lot and got gypsum weed. Couldn't gypsum weed with those new knives.
Little pokeberries.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Gypsum weed.
Gentlemen,
And they gave
pokeberries.
them to this little Coggins boy next door. He started eating them.
No, they bit him, he wouldn't eat them. That's what I heard.
Yeah, he said, you cut them, we'll
He
eat them, I'll eat
He
them, you
got
cut
so
them off.
deadly sick they thought he was gonna die that night.
He was climbing the walls out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, scared mother to death.
He lived though.
Yeah.
he is,
Did you ever play down on the ridge?
Graham, you're a rascal.
Yeah, well, I didn't just sit around and twiddle my thumbs.
Tell Beth where you used to play, your favorite playground. Down the Red Hill.
Oh,
And
yeah.
how early you'd be down there.
Oh, yeah, I'd get down there early. 5 o'clock in the summertime, a lot of times. Then that
In the
train
morning?
would come by,
Yeah.
Mr. Fox would come by on a train, you know, left uptown at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Early one
I've
day,
been out there
less than
many
that.
times playing, wave at him. He and his brother lived right across the street from us almost, Hurley and Leslie. And they both worked on the railroad, baggage men on the railroad, the train that ran from Wilmington to Mount Airy and back. Every morning one would leave Wilmington, about midnight I think, something like that. And one left Mount Airy at the same time. Well, they lived side by side there in Sanford, and they had one room in Mount Airy that they stayed in. One was staying at one night and one the next. One would sleep in Sanford one night and one in Mount Ayr. And they'd get on those trains and they'd cross in Greensboro and wave at one another when the train
But they did have separate wives.
Yeah, but that's the only
wave at
time
one
they saw
another
each
when
other.
they
They just
passed
waved
in
at each other
Greensboro.
and passed.
That's the only time they got to see one another.
Let's have
And-
vacation.
Vacation.
Leslie was the younger one that lived with Dorothy's daddy. Was that her? Leslie.
That's right.
He would throw, every afternoon when that train came in, he'd throw 50 pounds of ice off. There, right by the house. And he always walked back down the railroad to pick that ice up and say, oh,
Where would you have gotten off?
I don't know. I ran out of the, I don't know where he got it.
Did he wave to you? when you were playing
Oh,
with-
yeah, we waved at the engineer and all.
Well, I remember one time, Miss Fox, Sally, her name was, came over for Mama to give their little girl Dorothy, who was an only child, a dose of castor oil, some kind of medicine. She was sick. And Mama said, now, Sally, do you want me to give her that medicine? Yes, please do, Miss God. I just can't give it to her. Mama picked her up and put this arm behind her, put
Right
her arm
there.
down there and held her right close, quartered down, held her nose, I reckon. Sally thought that was terrible, but
She brought her several times, didn't she, to give her
Oh,
medicine?
yeah.
well, she'd always come over to bother to monitor.
And every time a storm would come up, she'd come over there. She'd be so
But I remember
afraid.
one time, she came over and she told Mama that Dorothy's sick, Miss Vice, please. Now, you have 7 children, but I don't have any with Dorothy. And brother and Mama didn't bow up. She said, let me tell you something, Sally Fox. I love every one of those 7 children just as much as you love that one Dorothy of yours. And don't you forget it. I never forget it.
No one would take another one's place. Is that what she said? No one would take another one's
Yeah,
place.
no sir.
Like Daddy said, he wouldn't give 2 cents for another one, but he wouldn't take $1 million for anyone he had.
Well, you remember the time Daddy carried us all to the meeting up at the tent, meeting up, had made us all stand up. And,
Yeah, got a,
they had a big evangelistic meeting. Some traveling evangelist was there, had a great big tent up there on the corner about a couple of blocks from us. And whoever was in charge, said they were going to give a prize to the family that had the most children there the next night. Well, of course, that just set
Daddy
Daddy
dressed
right
us all
off.
up. And that was,
Yes, sir. So Daddy lined us all up and carried us.
Put
Mama and
shoes
Daddy.
on.
Huh?
Put shoes on.
Yeah, we were all dressed up. And our family, and Mr. Lawrence's family, had the same amount, but I think one of his didn't go. But anyway, we won the prize. Daddy won it, and he gave him a hymn book.
Is that Dan Lawrence?
Dan Lawrence. No, not Dan. The one down. Mr. Lawrence, it was in our church. Roy Lawrence. Father.
Was he proud of that hymn book?
He was
proud of having the
he
biggest
worked down at the railroad crossing. That Mr. Lawrence had all those children. One of them married Isabel
I
Hines.
know what you're talking about.
Hines Telephone Company now. Anyway, Daddy was so proud of that, made us all stand up, and I was so embarrassed.
Well, where did Graham get all of his mischief?
Yeah, let's hear
When
more
did
about
Mr.
that.
Well, it wasn't mean. It was just cute, and mischievous.
Well, where did he get it? That didn't come from your daddy, did it?
No, Daddy was always very reserved. When we were there with the grandchildren, he didn't play with them, romp with them.
And we did something wrong. Dad said, you
I
boys don't
remember
want to do that. And we didn't.
We didn't want to do it.
When Mary Eunice was a baby.
You heard him say that, didn't you?
What did you say, Daddy?
He said, you boys don't want to do that.
It's something that he did not want us to do,
Oh.
and he'd tell us not to do it. He said, now, you don't want to do that.
And we
And we
didn't.
didn't want to do it either.
If you won't do something, he'd say, I'd rather you wouldn't. I just, I'm surprised that you want to do that. I just rather you wouldn't do it, but there's nothing to do but go.
Did you hear that a lot on
And you wouldn't do it for anything, do you? Now, talk like that, you wouldn't do it for anything, do you?
When
And-
Mary
and-
Eunice started talking, Graham heard her say something. He went running, kitchen went, Mama, the baby's talking. He went running back in there, I heard him say, damn, honey.
Did I say
I remember when Ruth
Did you
was
know all
going.
this when you married her?
No, I didn't know.
I remember Ruth went to go to school.
I remember that.
When she started to school
Oh, I didn't want
across the railroad, man, she didn't want to go, man. She just
Tell them how she got there.
put her feet down. Yeah, I finally put her on my shoulders and I'd ride her to school.
I rode piggyback.
Uncle Graham.
That's the only way you get her to go to
She
school.
didn't want to go to school.
She was a
How
spitfire
long
when
did
she
that
was
last?
little. That's what they
That's what
called her.
Miss
Spitfire.
I don't
Man
know.
called
I don't know how long it lasts, but I carried you several times.
Yeah. And I know they tell me, I don't remember when I had, no, Foster was so sick, wasn't it? Or I was. I wouldn't let anybody do anything for me but Mother or Lillian. And they said I'd cry, I want my little dog.
Well, I thought Lillian stayed in there with me. Nobody paid attention to me but Lillian.
Well,
You and Frost were real sick. Frost was unconscious
Oh, he
for
was
10
unconscious.
days.
He had a little tricycle,
He got the
and he
cruise.
was laid in that crib just riding that thing.
Oh, it was Della used to tell me that I'd cry and say, I want my little John. Wouldn't let her do anything.
Well, I remember Lillian staying there with me all the time when I see people going by the window, people from the church. And they never came in to see me. They were all so concerned up there at Frosty.
He was sick.
He was unconscious for 10
Yeah.
days. I think.
What was wrong with him?
He had pneumonia. They didn't think he would survive. And I remember Mr. Harry was our pastor, and the street was all torn up then, couldn't drive down there, and he would walk down there through the mud, and then he'd come over there every day. Anyway, I remember he was supposed to, he said, pass the crisis one night. They were all there. And the next morning, he was just brightened up and so much better.
Greta Mann was a nurse. She was a
Greta
fine
Mann.
Christian woman. They thought so much of this Greta Mann.
You didn't put him in the hospital, then you stayed home.
But they had 2 or 3 doctors over there on that afternoon, had a consultation.
Well,
But we would all get the kids all down to grandma's to spend the night. And
Give us
every
a
time
bag
we
of
did
bread,
that, we'd come
cold
back
biscuits.
the next day. Huh?
Give us a bag of cold biscuits.
Yeah, and go down to grandmother's to spend the night. All of us children to come back the next morning, we'd have a new baby.
And grandmother stayed with Mama until the baby was a month old. And at that time, she could give the baby the bath. That was the first thing Mama could do for the baby. And that was when the baby was a month old. Grandma stayed and looked out
Yeah,
for
because
him.
she was the one that,
You never did get to do
she's the
that,
one
did
that
you?
got me going.
Nowadays, babies walking around by then.
Yeah, really.
if it hadn't been for Grandma, I don't know whether Graham would have
Oh, mother already
made
gave
it
me
or
up.
not, because he was already,
Mother gave me up.
yeah, she said
I
she
never
just,
heard that one.
Yeah,
she said she had
grandmother
just given
kept
him
beating
up.
on me
She
and
said she
turned
turned
me
her
upside
face
down
up to
and
the
started
wall.
blowing in my mouth.
Said
When
he
you
was
was
white
young,
blue
started-
all over, he'd already white blue face.
Yeah.
He said Grandma kept working with him
Now, how old were you then,
and blowing
Greta?
in his mouth. But Mama said she just gave him up.
How old were you?
I'm just born.
That's when he was
Just
born.
when
Just when he was born.
That's the first time.
Grandma used to be like a midwife.
Yeah,
she went around
she
with
delivered me.
She
I
went
reckon
around
she
delivered
was-
babies, and
You mean Dr. Kiefer wasn't there?
he was there, but
Well,
Grandma.
sometimes you don't get that day.
Grandma probably tells him what to do.
But she was a remarkable person.
Well, one thing you all missed, you haven't told about Uncle Joe, have you?
Yeah, we talked.
Yeah,
we
we
started
That's
talking
right,
about
that's
Let's
Didn't
hear
tell
more about
his
Uncle
piece of
Graham.
Chicken though.
Now, his piece of chicken was.
Well,
Yeah.
before the chicken, and while it was cooking, he'd sit in the kitchen there with that cane
The cane.
and tap it on the floor. And while he's waiting, the mother was cooking and getting as hard as
Chair
good.
chair right beside the stove.
Kitchen cabinet.
Right by the kitchen cabinet.
Cabinet.
Now, who was Uncle Joe?
Uncle Joe was our mother's uncle, our great uncle. And he lived with us from the time I was born.
Yeah, about as long as I remember until he
Before
died.
you were born.
Almost like a grandfather.
He
never
died
did
when
know
I
his
was,
grandparents.
I guess, junior in high school.
He had when they built the house, he had one room, and he had a room there,
Well, they
and a
gonna talk about
fireplace.
chicken first.
And he would keep a fire going in from early fall all through the winter. He kept fire in that fireplace, and I remember going there many a night, sitting down on the floor, taking my shoes off, and just baking my feet on that fire, looking those coals.
And tell him how he would eat.
Eat. Oh, you tell him.
One certain thing.
Eating prunes.
He's the one.
Seed and all.
And
Oh,
got
he'd
the
eat
chicken
a
breast,
big
didn't he?
plate full of prunes, and he'd ask him, where were the seeds? Seeds? What seeds? He didn't say seeds. He didn't have but 2 teeth, and they didn't meet.
That's what he did. And Mama, back in those days, they used to take cardiac
Oh,
women for their
Oh,
the
they
female
just take them.
ailments. Yeah. Well, Uncle Joe would take it if it was good for Nora, it was good for him. And he would also take Sloan's liniment. And he'd get bad all sick, and the doctor would tell him it was for external use only, and not to take it internally. And he'd get the ailing again, and he would take it. He felt like it was good for the outside. It certainly was good for the inside. And he'd take it. Oh, we used to.
You remember the day the policeman came over to have you, who was it? Was it you that had?
You've been driving the car.
I remember that.
Tell Beth about that.
I wasn't 16, and I drove the car back from downtown one morning. Had Daddy down there. That's what he was doing. Anyway, I drove the car back home. And by the time I got out of the backyard, the policeman drove up the street, turned the driveway. Oh, I knew he was coming after me to drive. I scared to death. Anyway, he had a colored fellow with him that had stole some chickens. And he was wanting to know if he got them out of a chicken house, was loaded the chicken house. And I think he did.
You'd run and hid.
Oh, yeah, I gone here. Oh, yeah.
You were long gone, really.
Yeah, go find you out, won't it?
You remember the time we just before Thanksgiving, we found this wild turkey in that chicken lot?
Yeah, y'all
See,
did
that
that. I
chicken lot
wasn't
went
there
way
then, but
down,
I wasn't either. I
almost
was
to the
always-
railroad track, this wooded
I
area
remember
behind
that.
the house. And we were so tickled on going out there and finding this turkey. And it,
You
with
couldn't get out of the
chickens.
chicken
Flew
lot.
in the chicken lot, did it?
Yeah.
Came down in the chicken
Couldn't
lot.
get out. He didn't have enough room to take off.
So, but anyway, I went to a bridge party that night, and I was telling the folks at the party about our good fortune. And it so happened that the game warden's wife was there and heard the story. So the next morning, here he came over there and made us turn the turkey loose. It's a wild
No, we
He
gave
took
it to
it.
him.
Gave
He
it to
took
him.
the turkey.
Well, he
He's gonna
took the
turn it
turkey.
loose.
Yeah, I
Gary had
bet
it for his
he
Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, they
He had
always,
turkey
they
for dinner.
were always so mad at me because I blabbed about the turkey, and they all felt like that game warden had that turkey for Thanksgiving
Wow.
instead of
We will always
molasses.
had our appetites overwhetted for Thanksgiving turkey. But the warden had it.
Well, they probably did have it, but yeah.
He thought-
But I was so happy about it. I was.
Yeah, I would
was
too. I'd
happy.
tell everybody.
Well, Graham, I think you ought to tell us about inaugurating Mr. Mitchell into the Glass family.
What are you talking about that?
Oh, I don't know. You were his age. I was just a little
I
fellow.
think it was when he missed a train one time. He used to come courting and he could hear the train blowing down there when it was down about, where was it, Lemon Spring or somewhere heading this way. He heard it blow first
If I
time.
heard the first time, I knew I could take my time and get up there. All right, but if I waited till it blew the second time, I'd have to run every step of the way.
He got left one
I
time.
left one time, and one time I jumped in the baggage car, and the baggage man said, "Boy, don't you never do that again." He said, "You follow me in, get run over sure."
But
But what did you do, Uncle Graham?
Well, he got left one time as we took him in, kept him,
No, you see, we met at Ridgecrest one time. And, I was a group from our church, she was with a group from her church. And, you know, you waved at each other, wink and all that.
finally got around a little light hand holding.
Her crowd was going up to Asheville to see a movie. So they asked me to go along with them in the bus, you know. So we went and got back, and then the very next night I was looking to see if I could see her again, you know.
Uh-huh. Wait,
No, she was with somebody else then.
I was that silly boy.
But,
Got back
Stage,
to
and I really had
Ridgecrest.
but you
And
see,
Hoyt wrote Mary Lou's letter, and she was so excited. She said, "Now, what must I say? What must I say?" So she said, "Now, write me, tell me what I ought to say." So I wrote a letter for her, and she copied it and sent it back to him. And here came another one, right? Now, write no. I said, "No, sir, from now on, you're on your own." And so she took over.
but you see, don't say the thing as having a car back then.
Got
You
bummed.
walked and you bummed, and I could get bum and get from Fairmont to Wake Forest in less time than it'd take if I was going with you. And I knew you were going right straight there. At that time, you could really bum fast, long distance. But I was going to Wake Forest, and so I figured, well, I'd go by Sanford. See, that's the nearest way.
That's on Wake Forest now over
So I
here.
bummed the no,
Over
no,
here,
that's
Raleigh.
old Wake Forest, in Raleigh, and on the other side of Raleigh. So what I did was bummed up there, and I got there about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I think. And they had a little garden spot out there with a swing in it, you know, just before you get to the house.
Shrubbery lot.
Yeah. And I met her there.
That was it.
I had walked out to the house.
Swing.
It's a mile out there. About a mile? Yeah.
From downtown.
Yeah. And I walked out there, and it got to getting dark after a while. See? I said, hey, I keep bumming night. I got to get out there and get going. And Mary said, oh, she'll look after that. I said, don't worry about it. And then they said, come on, let's eat. I said, no, I couldn't do that, you know. But the time I got some of that good cooking, boy, you couldn't rub me with it.
The first time he had never seen thickened gravy until he came to that house. He always had just grease gravy, see? That was so.
But I stayed on to about 9 o'clock, you know. And I said, golly, if I don't leave you, I'll never get there. And of course, she called Graham in there, and you know, everybody around. She said, Graham is about your age. She said, well, why don't you just stay here with us? You know, Graham said, come on. He said, she's got brothers. It won't make no difference. I said, okay.
Many we got there, one more won't matter.
Well, I remember the
So I
first
started
time
staying. And every chance after then, I can get some of that good cooking. I tried to get in on it.
The first time I ever saw you, Hoyt, I knew you were coming. And I got out in the swing, in the
Double swing.
double swing there in
Yeah.
the shrubbery yard. And he turned the corner there, coming down Greensboro, trotting. That's where he came knocked that all the way to the house. I never forget.
I still shudder every time I think about it. You Mary's running down those steps at the church
I
after
do
they were
too.
married.
I do
There's
too.
about, I don't know,
I was
12, 14 steps.
I was
down,
surprised
and
that
they
she
came
knew
out of that
somebody
church and running
didn't have
down.
a car, you know.
We didn't have a car till just before Marchman now.
And during the war, I rode on some of those trains where you sit on your duffel bags in the aisle, you know, and holding a baby.
What about the steps? What about the 12? What did Aunt Mary used to do there?
was running, came out of the church after they were married
And
and
they-
ran. They were running and ran down those steps, those
Had
concrete
an angle
steps.
that way, didn't they?
Yeah.
Come right straight
They
down.
didn't have a railing to
I
it.
mean, it's 2 or 3 steps at a time. I don't see how you got
I
down
don't
those
see how you
steps
got
without
down.
falling. I really don't. It scared me to death.
Well, talk about the
They were
war.
floating. They were floating in the air.
Let's talk about something else.
Yeah, talk about
No,
the
I'm
war.
not caring
Talk
about
about
that.
the war years. You ought to hear when Ruth.
Oh,
Joe
tell about,
came-
tell
Joe
about
Keith was at
giving,
Williams.
giving,
The first
before you
born
get to
from
that,
Williams.
tell about giving the, what's the older girl's name? Donna, that animal. With the fat-
Donna might not appreciate that.
Tell about- Huh?
But you can tell.
What you doing down there?
I don't remember that. Why, were you there?
Oh, you go tell about it out there. You better get that thing out there.
Dramatize it.
I don't remember the first time we
But
got
I
here
remember
was
Rick
over.
was telling about it.
But yeah. Oh, boy, that was something.
Okay, what did
Now,
you
how
go
did
tell?
you meet Uncle Graham?
We double dated together.
Who got you together? Who, just a friend or a brother or sister?
Well, I was dating the boy he was working with, and we double dated.
Uh-huh.
And then Graham called me after that.
You sly dog. Could go in behind the other guy.
And Beth, we met,
Yeah.
this chaplain at Fort Bragg brought 200 soldiers up to Sanford. Was it 200? I think it was. Anyway, we,
And
they
let him
all
look
came
over
to
the
church.
field, didn't
He preached, Chaplain Milner. And after service, we were down in the social hall entertaining the soldiers. And I met him then.
He preached at First Baptist Church.
Yeah. And he lived there in Sanford.
Oh. And Joe was the first boy drafted from his county in Williamson, South Carolina. Is that right? So he was in the service and had his training all, and he went straight overseas
He's the first to
when
go.
Hoyt went in the service. We were all home one Christmas,
I went to New York Harbor and he went on overseas.
and Joe was going straight overseas, and Hoyt was just going in. And
When was that? That was 40 what?
You were all there.
43,
Started leaving that afternoon.
was it 43?
February 44, I guess.
I think it was 43. Pearl Harbor was
40 and
41.
43.
Just before Christmas.
I went in
Joe was 6
43
months
just before
old.
Christmas.
Joey was born in 40.
Yeah, just before Christmas.
Well, it was
43.
Christmas and all of you had at least gotten in.
I went in February
43.
44.
44.
I've been in about 8 months from Pearl Harbor.
Well, I know
think
that
it was
Christmas,
43.
we were all there, and the boys started leaving that afternoon, and Hoyt left. Now, I remember that. And I remember looking through the, I went in Mama's bedroom, and I didn't know I was gonna do it, but I just happened to glance up, and the door was cracked open there, and Hoyt was had Bill up in his arms, and he was telling him goodbye. And that old music box was playing. I think every time I hear, oh, I couldn't stand that, I came unglued. But anyway, Mary Eunice was going to the train with Hoyt, see him off. And nobody, she said, we all said, now you want us to go with you? No, I don't want anybody to go with me, so nobody went. And Mama went back to the kitchen. She was back there just crying when Mary Eunice got back. And Mary Eunice went back there and said, what are you crying for? I'm the one that sent my husband off to the war.
I said, you got somebody to keep your feet warm.
Mama said, well, I want my, yeah, my girl. Mary Eunice said, you have somebody to keep your feet warm. Mama said, well, I want somebody to keep my husband and children's feet warm too. And Mary Eunice said, oh, I got a good hot water bottle.
Hey, Mary Eunice!
Well, I had to cheer Mama up. She really had a hard time doing those.
You know, see how she
What
went
used
through
to
all
get
those
me was-
years.
I'd be there sometime, you know, sometime I was on furlough or something. And I'd
No,
be
she's
there
counting.
and, Miss Glasby, she had to write every one of them every so often. Every one of those. And she'd get there and she'd sit there and listen to the radio, keeping Mary Eunice company. And write letters, you know, and You drop off just like just like I do.
Dad does that.
I do that.
Well, you remember the day Joe Wilson came home, don't you?
Yeah.
Joey,
He landed on your birthday, 3rd.
Joey,
I
how old
remember
was
when he was
Joey?
born,
Was he a year old?
had more hair than anything I ever seen.
He was 18 months old.
Her pretty blonde curls.
Pretty cool.
And Sally Fox came by and found that.
I was gonna tell you, you don't have to tell that. Tell them what, how keeping Joey clean and.
Yeah, Sally had the most curiosity. She lived at Salt City, just 25 miles up the road from Sanford. And she came by that Sunday afternoon. Joe had called it while we were eating lunch, and he was at Fort Bragg, and he was gonna come. So we were expecting to come any time, and had Joey all dressed up, so pretty, and his little blonde curls.
He'd never seen Joey.
He'd never seen his boy.
He was 18 months old before he ever saw him.
And so we were just determined that she wasn't gonna have the pleasure of being there and seeing him when he saw his little boy for the first time. And she just kept waiting and waiting. She spent the whole Sunday afternoon with us. And we,
Sally Fox.
yes, and we kept Joey down through Grapevine, just about the whole afternoon.
Right, trying to keep
So when Joe came, he could come down there and
See more by
We could be by ourselves.
finally, night came and she had to go. And Lee and Ruth stayed home. The rest of us went to church. And Ruth went on and put Joey to bed, upstairs in his bed. And we just didn't know what happened to his daddy, you know, when Joe was ever going to get there. Nobody was there but Ruth and Lillian. And Joe hit the floor, and then Ruth comes going upstairs and sees Joey. And he went up there and looked at him and said something about it. Idiot captain.
Yeah.
And old Joey jumped up, you know, and he went right to Joe, and he just did all the cute tricks. All
He never was.
You remember that, Joe, don't you?
For the first.
Is that right?
The next day we were in town, you and I were strolling the babies. And he came in early and we saw him up there. We went to him then too. He was never afraid of us.
But the best thing,
When I came home, I didn't know who.
right after Joey was born, before Joe Keith got home, Joe's mother and aunt came up from Williamston, South Carolina,
We had to
to
tell him.
see the new baby. And I was working in Raleigh then, so I came home for the weekend too. And Ms. Wilson said, "Now, Ruth, who's older, you or Lillian?"
Hey, Lily, she's told that story about 3 or 4 times this week.
I really think she needed her eyes examined at the
And Bill, we were living in a small one-room apartment in Richmond when Bill was born. We knew Hort was going to go into the service soon,
Had a
so
bit
we
turned out of the wall.
bought this little bassinet and used that. And then we kept passing around. Ruth used it, then Lillian used it, Graham used it. We passed it around the family, didn't give us a chance to dry out good. And when Ruth was looking for her baby, she dressed it up so fancy, put all this lace and ribbon and everything. And when that little old boy of hers was born, he looked like an old man. When we went to see him, Leah said, "We ought to start talking about the political situation. You can't talk baby talk to me." And all Ruth could do is lie back in the bed. He's pretty, 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 pretty.
And he said, one of the first things she said, "I wanted chocolate." She was still under the anesthesia.
Yeah.
But first thing Lillian told you when you were going out to California, so you could stay with Joe before he went to overseas. "Now, Ruth, don't you go out there and get pregnant." No, no.
But when you were in Richmond, and we went up there, Emily was up there, and I was at Fort Monroe, and I came up there one day.
I remember that.
That bassinet there, I reckon. My cap was laying over on the table, and you had Bill there. changing diapers, he was laying there kicking, you know. He had to wee kid, he did, and he just zeroed in on that thing. He had it zeroed in.
You know, some of
And over-
poets, shirts too, that you had
Yeah.
before he was going out.
And at the
His
same
arm.
time, you know, they had to be him all the time, and had to change them, and you'd hear them burp. You have to burp them, you know, when you're feeding. Bill was
Did they have
laying
a
over there one
disposal?
time. Bill was laying over there
What
one time, and
disposal tall?
you heard something. Huh? Poet said, "Which end was that?"
We brought him home from the hospital.
I'll be real.
I don't think so, Uncle Hoyt.
And we didn't
We
we didn't know anything about looking after a baby. We read the baby book and the cookbook and the good book those days, I don't know which the most. But anyway, the book said to give him a drink of water between feeding. So after we fed him at 2 o'clock and he was sleeping in that little basket, we took him up at 4 o'clock to give him a drink of water. Then he cried till 6 o'clock when we fed him. And that night after we fed him, put him to bed, we took him up, fed him at 10 o'clock. And then at 2 o'clock I was awake. Hoyt, it's time to feed the baby. All right, just a minute. All right. And every half hour I'd say, it's time to feed the baby. All right. And finally we woke him up at 6 o'clock next morning to feed him. I didn't sleep a bit 'cause I'm afraid something's happened to the baby.
And he cried to the next time he fed him.
Now, Dad, let's hear how you and Mama met. I know, kind of, but not really.
Don't you tell him about just before you met.
Oh, please.
What, about that girl with the green thing on her?
I never heard that story. I never heard that one.
Yeah.
Tell me that
We
one.
put that out too.
They would tell you about that.
Well, Uncle Graham, you tell me. You tell me.
I don't, all I remember is green
And
fingernails.
he's going with some girl, and her dad was a lawyer somewhere.
It was a jeweler.
I thought he was a lawyer.
Molly Jean's daddy was a jeweler.
But
That's right.
anyhow, he'd go there every
He was an
weekend,
accountant.
and he'd give the car to drive all the weekend. Didn't he?
He what?
Give your car to drive all the weekend.
Oh, I drove his car a little bit.
Sure.
But she was a dang pretty little thing. And that first Sunday she was there, her hair was fixed so pretty. She said to me, Mother said you would do so and so to my hair.
Well,
Well, tell her about the first time Marjorie came.
Yeah, well, back that weekend you're talking about though, we didn't have Pampers and that sort of thing then. We had to wash diapers, and I was washing diapers in the bathtub, and I had a bathtub diapers soaking in there washing them, and Molly G came in there and looked, she, what to think of that? I think she,
You could open the door and tell us baby at the house.
Yeah. Well, then, okay.
But tell her about the first time Ernest brought Marjorie home. We came home from
Oh,
church,
yeah.
and she
Right,
nobody was around but Marjorie.
Was I not there?
Were you in the back part of the house or somewhere?
But she went right in the kitchen and started working, and she cooked biscuits, or was Mama there? Mama was there, wasn't she?
Yeah, you're talking about me.
Yeah, the first time you ever
went
came.
back in there and started working, and I remember when Ernest first told us about Marjorie, he said, you'll like her, I want you to meet her. I said, you'll like her, she's more like my sisters. Never forget that.
Oh, how romantic, Dad. Well, any more about Mom and Dad?
I want to hear some more about the girl with green fingernails.
Yeah.
We didn't know much about his going with Marjorie, because she was, that courtship took place a long way from Sanford. That was out in Seminary, see. So we didn't know it.
You don't know all these things.
We don't know all those out there.
But when we were at home during the war, having all these experiences with our babies, Ernest was over there teaching a course in family relations.
No, that was later.
Later.
That was 47.
Well, anyway, we
Wait
used
for
to,
us.
We used to
when I
tease
taught
him.
at Wake Forest.
Tell him that we could tell him a lot about family
Next time
families.
if you ever went on a tin can track.
Well, you over there
You tell them about it.
when I was in service, when you 46, you know, over in 46. Before I got out of service.
46, I was at Duke. I graduated from Duke in 46.
I married, yeah, married.
And you could have got out, but you figured you owed them so much time.
Well, at that point, I couldn't get out. I was permission to serve.
I thought you
But
could.
then later, I could have gotten out. They said either get out or be prepared to be recalled. And they had sent me to school for 3 years.
So you figured you owed them something.
That's right.
Tell Tommy how you got in the first place.
Oh, Harold Killian and Doug Alders just make that a good story.
Well, tell it like it. Tell him like, tell
What,
him.
how you got in the Navy?
Yeah,
Tell
we
Tommy.
were at Wake Forest, and of course, most of the boys had either drafted or had volunteered. About all that was left was a few 4Fs playing football and ministerial students. So some of them decided, well, they always gotten to go in the Navy in the chaplain program. So 3 of them, Harold Killian and Doug Aldrich and Wallace Parham, decided they were going over to Raleigh to the Navy recruiting station and see if they could get in this Navy program. And they saw me, asked me to go with them. Well, I hadn't thought too much about it, but the way they tell it now, and I don't remember all the details.
They got you
They
in.
said I went along for the ride, but I went along with them. Well, Wallace Parham had had polio when he was a child, and he had a pretty bad limp, so he didn't pass the physical. Harold Killian was allergic to the tetanus shot, so they wouldn't take him. He didn't pass the physical. Doug had a hernia, so he didn't pass the physical. I was the only one who passed it. So I went into the Navy's B-12 program.
Now, were you married, were you dating Mom, or you hadn't, she was still
That
star,
was before I met her.
still star in your eye?
He met her at the seminary.
I always heard that. Tommy always tells me. Mom went to seminary to find a husband.
How'd he know?
I would have gotten the Navy except for the point of his finger. He said, Army, Navy, Marines. Army, Navy, Marines.
And you hit the Army, huh?
Yeah, I hit the Army.
Is that right?
That's right.
It's a good thing, the way he gets seasick. is-
They get you, you know, all in one room. And say, take everything off. And then
Even that smile on your face.
Yeah. It said, now you're gonna be assigned. He said, Army, Navy, Marine. Army, Navy, Marine.
Well, why would you have to take the
I don't
clothes off
know.
to do that?
That's just part of it. You see that every time.
Not like that.
Yeah. And when we went overseas, we went on one of these, Santa Maria. It was a ship that they had a crew of ships, had, well, 8 or 10 of them, that cruised the Caribbean, went to the Caribbean back in a pleasure ship. And they commissioned all those, and took all the mirrors out, put 4 bunks high, you know, in the stateroom, and 12 men in each stateroom. And they kept you there for 10 days. He said to go out and whatever he needs to do. And then you had to have a physical before you get off. Well, that was a smell. He couldn't use anything but salt water, you know. no physical.
Remember how we used to get up about 4 o'clock in the morning, go down to the chicken lot and cook breakfast?
Yeah.
That was
What'd
on
you
the
have,
Red Hill,
Queen?
wasn't it? Took that.
We go way down in the railroad track.
Make those little stores and make
Always
biscuits,
the
cold
day before
biscuits,
school
cut up,
started.
slice them, put little pieces of onions in, sell them for hot dogs.
And those Coca-Cola bottles with
See,
water.
you had the paper out, didn't you?
Yeah, I had one.
And I went with Graham around to deliver papers one night, and there was a little filling station in country, neighborhood store at the end of the route. And we stopped there and got a candy bar,
Yeah.
and he bought me a candy bar. And I thought that was the
A
nicest.
nickel, now they're
Oh, yeah.
45 cents.
And that was the
Uh,
part of delivering the papers.
We had the paper. Tommy was delivering News and Observer, and I was delivering the Raw Times when they had that big snow in 1927. And we didn't get any papers for 3 days. Trains didn't
Tell about the watermelons.
Wilton Vic.
Mr. Vick.
What kind of fellow was he, Mr. Vick?
Mr. Vick was a big fellow. He was
Bigger than me?
hard shape, short, you know. But he had a
Oh, that's ugly.
big stomach, and he
It's not big
he
enough.
talked real slow, and he taught Daddy Sunday school class. And one Christmas they gave him a set of golf clubs for a Christmas present. And he got up and he was thanking him for the golf clubs. He appreciated all that, but he was about to get told he was going to have to give up playing golf. Because he said if he stood where he could see the ball, he couldn't hit it. If he stood where he could hit it, he couldn't see it. Talk slow, and they lived down on, what was it, Chisholm Street, was that it? Between, Chisholm, between the Greensboro Highway indoor and Steel Street.
Yeah.
Steel, and
Right.
a hill down that way. They lived over here on the right. There's a truck coming up that hill now loaded with watermelons. Just was moving. He could hardly make it up that hill. And Wilton, one of the boys, he ran out there and got a watermelon off the truck. Well, then put it in the yard. And ran back out there and got another one. And put it in the yard, and before the truck got to the yard, he started out right after another one. And the screen door opened up, and Mr. Vick stuck his head out the door and said, "Well done, that's enough."
I was eating the Sunday dinner there one time, and Will wanted some chicken. Well, don't say chicken, say chicken. And in 2-3 minutes, he says, "I want some of that chocolate cake." And how about the time you made ice cream? You enjoyed that, didn't you, Fred?
Little Robert and Wilton, I reckon John. John was the one, he was next to the little one. But when they moved there, he had a little suit, gray suit, I'll never forget it, pants and a jacket. And that jacket had a zipper on it. And that was the first zipper I ever saw. And that just worried me. That was the most fascinating thing I ever saw, that zipper. And I bet I ran that thing 100 miles trying to figure out how it worked. I couldn't figure that thing. But anyway, one Saturday we were going to pick blackberries and sell them and buy some milk and make some ice cream. They had a freezer. And we were going to make a gallon of ice cream. That was about 5 bowls. We were going to eat that gallon of ice cream. And we were going to have an ice cream feast. We went and picked blackberries. We picked them and we sold them. We bought the milk and got the ice, bought the ice and everything. And we were up there making that ice cream, freezing ice cream. When Miss Vick called Mother and told her we was making ice cream, she says, "Come on up, we're going to have some ice cream." Well, Mother got all the kids at the house, and I don't know, picked up 2 or 3 more on the way, and Miss Vick got somebody else. Anyway, it turned out where we got just a little, it wasn't even a cone ice cream hardly. Oh, man.
Man, what you boys like?
They had a cat up there. I'll never forget that. One day she had some kittens. She had them out on the front porch.